In Cleveland, they are threatening to fine him $15,000 for wearing the wrong shoes. In London, they are rolling out the red carpet. Breaking news tonight. Shedeur Sanders just sent a message to the NFL from the owner's box at Chelsea Football Club. He spent the evening with Todd Boehly, the man who owns the Dodgers, the man who paid Shohei Ohtani $700 million. Insiders say Boehly told Shedeur, "The Browns are trying to manage you. Real owners invest in you. Never let a billionaire make you feel like an employee." While Jimmy Haslam plays checkers, Shedeur is in London playing chess with the kings of sport. But there is a reason Boehly is so interested in Shedeur. I've dug into Boehly's recent investment portfolio, and he is quietly buying land near Wembley Stadium for a specific purpose. Subscribe and hit the bell right now. If you want to know the future of the NFL in London, click that button. Let's look at the real estate. Here is how Shedeur Sanders just outsmarted the entire league.
Closet for sure. He has a little bit more free time. Yeah, I got some more free time now. But we both have swag, you know what I'm saying? We get it from prime time. Yeah. He hates to say it, but everything he try to wear, our dad already did. So he think he be doing his own thing. But
while most athletes are spending their off-season in the gym or on a beach, Shedeur Sanders is busy rewriting the blueprint of what a professional athlete even looks like. If you thought his move to London was just about catching a soccer match, you've been looking at the wrong scoreboard. This wasn't a vacation. It was a calculated takeover. When the owners of Chelsea Football Club, some of the most powerful men in global sports, specifically clear a path for Shedeur to walk through the tunnels of Stamford Bridge, they aren't doing it for a photo op. They're doing it because Shedeur Sanders has something they desperately need: the pulse of the American youth. The man behind the curtain here is Todd Boehly. He's the American billionaire who took over Chelsea and realized that European soccer has a massive branding problem in the States. To Boehly, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's a cultural bridge. By rolling out the blue carpet, Chelsea was making an indirect play for the millions of fans who follow the Sanders family religiously. This was a strategic endorsement disguised as a VIP visit. When Shedeur held up that custom jersey, he wasn't just showing off a gift. He was signaling the birth of a new kind of sports empire that crosses oceans. But the real shockwaves started long before he touched down in London. We have to talk about what happened in Paris. While the NFL world was debating his arm strength, Shedeur and his brother Shiloh were signing a staggering $100 million deal with AMIRI. This is where things get controversial. Usually, a college athlete is hungry for that first NFL paycheck. But Shedeur has flipped the script. He's walking into the league already more bankable than most Pro Bowlers. This $100 million fashion play sends a clear, silent message to every NFL front office. You can't control a man who already has his own kingdom. This financial independence is exactly what's fueling the wildest rumors in the league right now. There's a lot of chatter about draft rigging. People are whispering that Deion Sanders is preparing to pull a legendary power move, refusing to let his sons go to a struggling or badly managed franchise. It's the kind of move that makes NFL executives lose sleep. They're used to having all the leverage, but the Sanders family is playing a completely different game. They aren't just looking for a team, they're looking for the right business partner. And after seeing how the global elite in London and Paris treat Shedeur, the stakes for the upcoming draft have never been higher. What's even more fascinating is how Shedeur is carrying himself through all of this. He's becoming a global ambassador for black culture in spaces where it's often overlooked. Whether it's the way he walks into a stadium or the specific grown branding he's built, he's showing a level of business savvy that we haven't seen since the early days of LeBron James. He knows that his time on the field is limited, but the brand he's building at Stamford Bridge and the fashion runways of Europe is designed to last forever. He isn't just playing for the name on the back of the jersey. He's building the company that owns the jersey. There's been some talk about his draft position. Rumors about him falling to the 5th round, or being a steal for a team like the Browns. But let's be real, that's a smokescreen. The disrespect is part of the narrative. Every time a critic tries to downplay his talent, his social media engagement numbers triple, and his jersey sales skyrocket. The Sanders effect means that even if he isn't the first pick on paper, he's the first pick for the culture. He's already winning the game before the whistle even blows, and that's what has the traditionalists so upset. They can't figure out how a kid from Colorado is suddenly the most talked about name in London soccer. This isn't just about football anymore. We are watching the birth of a global icon who happens to play quarterback. The visit to Chelsea wasn't an endpoint, it was a launch pad. When Todd Boehly looks at Shedeur, he doesn't see a rookie, he sees a partner who can help him dominate the American market. And for Shedeur, it's a chance to see how the world's biggest clubs operate from the inside. He's soaking up the business of sports at the highest possible level, ensuring that when he finally does step onto an NFL field, he's not just another player. He's a mogul in cleats. As the dust settles on his European tour, one thing is becoming crystal clear. The old rules of being a professional athlete are dead. You don't just stay in your lane anymore. You build your own highway. Shedeur Sanders is currently running riot across the globe, proving that his influence can't be contained by a 100-yard field. He's making the world his stadium. And whether the NFL is ready for it or not, the Sanders era has officially gone global. The only question left is, which team is going to be bold enough to join him on this ride? And which ones will be left watching from the sidelines? In the end, Shedeur's journey reminds us that the biggest plays aren't always made on Sundays. Sometimes, the most important touchdown happens in a boardroom in London or a runway in Paris. He's already a billionaire in the making, a cultural icon, and a disruptor of the status quo. If this is what he's doing before he even takes an NFL snap, imagine what happens when he actually starts winning on the big stage. The world isn't just watching a football player. They're watching a masterclass in how to build an empire in real time. And honestly, he's just getting started. The traditional path for a college athlete used to be simple. Play hard, stay quiet, and hope a professional team decides you're worth a paycheck. But Shedeur Sanders just set that rulebook on fire. If you've been paying attention to his recent movements across the Atlantic, you realize we aren't just watching a football player anymore. We are watching the birth of a global conglomerate. While his peers are grinding through standard off-season drills, Shedeur is navigating the high-stakes boardrooms of London and the elite fashion runways of Paris. He's proving that the Sanders effect isn't just a catchy headline. It's a seismic shift in how sports, business, and culture collide. The moment he stepped foot into Stamford Bridge as a guest of Chelsea's ownership, the message was sent loud and clear. The game has changed, and Shedeur is the one holding the remote. To understand why this visit to Chelsea was such a massive deal, you have to look at the man who invited him. Todd Boehly isn't just some sports fan with deep pockets. He's a visionary who understands that the future of sports is all about cross-platform influence. Boehly didn't just want a celebrity in the stands. He wanted a bridge to the American market. By treating Shedeur like royalty, Chelsea wasn't just showing hospitality. They were making a calculated play for the attention of millions of young Americans who see Shedeur as the ultimate icon. This was an indirect endorsement that carries more weight than any billion-dollar ad campaign. It was about merging the prestige of the Premier League with the raw, undeniable energy of American football culture. But it wasn't just about the soccer. While the world was busy dissecting his London trip, something even bigger was brewing in the fashion capital of the world. The rumors of a staggering $100 million deal with the luxury brand AMIRI didn't just shock the sports world. They terrified the traditional NFL establishment. Think about that for a second. Most rookies enter the league hungry for their first $1 million contract, ready to do whatever the front office says just to secure their future. Shedeur is walking into the draft with $100 million already in the bank from a single fashion partnership. This changes the entire power dynamic. You can't bully or break a player who already has more wealth and influence than the people drafting him. It's a level of independence that we've never seen in a quarterback before, and it's making the old guard very uncomfortable. This financial freedom is exactly what's fueling the most controversial rumors surrounding the 2025 draft. There is a very real conversation happening behind closed doors about the Eli Manning maneuver. For those who don't know, Eli Manning famously refused to play for the team that drafted him. Now, whispers are growing louder that Shedeur Sanders is preparing to do the exact same thing for his sons. Dion has been vocal about the fact that he won't let his kids go to a bad situation. In the past, this would have been seen as career suicide. But for Shedeur, it's a strategic business move. He has the leverage, he has the brand, and most importantly, he has the money to wait for the right opportunity. The NFL is used to holding all the cards, but the Sanders family just brought their own deck. That's where things get really interesting. When you look at Shedeur, you aren't just looking at a player. You're looking at the grown brand. Every time he lifts his wrist to show off that legendary watch flex, he isn't just showing off jewelry. He's signaling a lifestyle. He's marketing a specific type of confidence that resonates with a generation that values personal branding over institutional loyalty. This grown mentality is what makes him so marketable to brands like AMIRI and clubs like Chelsea. They aren't buying his stats on the field. They're buying his ability to move the needle. They're buying his connection to a culture that the NFL has struggled to fully monetize for decades. He is the personification of the modern athlete CEO, and he's doing it all before he's even taken a snap in a professional game. But don't mistake the glitz and glamour for a lack of focus. The most impressive part of this entire saga is how Shedeur balances the business with the ball. While critics claim his trips to Europe are a distraction, those close to him know he's working harder than ever. He understands that the brand only stays valuable if the performance stays elite. He's using these global experiences to sharpen his mind, learning how to handle the pressure of the world stage, so that the pressure of a Sunday night game feels like a walk in the park. He's immersing himself in the winning cultures of world-class organizations like Chelsea to bring that same championship or bust energy back to the States. It's a holistic approach to greatness that most veterans don't figure out until they're in their 30s. And what about the locker room? That's the question everyone is asking. How do you walk into an NFL locker room as a rookie who's already a global superstar? It's a delicate balance. But Shedeur has been groomed for this his entire life. He's grown up in the shadow of prime time, learning how to handle the jealousy, the cameras, and the sky-high expectations. He doesn't just walk into a room, he commands it. Whether he's talking to a billionaire owner in a London suite or a teammate on a practice field, he carries a level of authenticity that's hard to ignore. He isn't trying to be one of the guys, he's trying to lead the guys. And in a league where leadership is the most valuable currency, Shedeur is already the richest man in the room. The global influence he's exerting right now is also about something much deeper than just money. He's becoming a vessel for black culture on a worldwide scale. By bringing that specific American energy to the hallowed grounds of Stamford Bridge, he's showing a new generation of creators and athletes that they don't have to stay in the box society built for them. He's proving that you can be a quarterback and a fashion icon. You can be a rookie and a mogul. You can be from Colorado and be the talk of London. He is breaking down the walls between different worlds, and in doing so, he's creating a brand new lane that others will be following for the next 20 years. As we look toward the future, the Sanders effect shows no signs of slowing down. The rumors of him being a steal in the draft, or falling to a specific team like the Browns, are just noise. The reality is that Shedeur Sanders has already won. He's built a safety net of wealth and influence that ensures his success, regardless of what happens on draft day. He's redefined what it means to be a prospect by becoming a partner instead. Every move he makes, from the jerseys he wears to the stadiums he visits, is a calculated step towards building an empire that will outlast his playing days. In conclusion, what we're witnessing isn't just a hot streak or a flash in the pan. It's the intentional construction of a legacy. Shedeur Sanders is running riot across the globe, not because he's lucky, but because he's smarter than the system. He's seen the blueprint, he's identified the flaws, and he's building something better. Whether he's shaking hands with Todd Boehly or signing 9-figure deals in Paris, he's proving that he's exactly who they've been looking for. The NFL is just the next stop on a journey that's already gone global. So, while the critics keep talking, Shedeur will keep building. And by the time they realize how big this empire really is, it'll be too late to stop it. The game has been rewritten, and the signature at the bottom belongs to Shedeur Sanders.